What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED.com, and today we have a 2004 Mazda RX8 we'll be doing an LED interior installation on. This installation is compatible with year models 2003 to 2008, as well as the second gen 2009 to 2012 RX8 models. Now today we're going to be installing our interior map lights, rear dome light, the two courtesy side door lights, the glove box light, as well as the trunk and the license plate light. Let's go ahead and get started. For this installation, we'll be using the premium 5730 style LEDs from PrecisionLED.com, and included with the premium package, you'll be getting 3 interior trim tools we'll be using to disassemble the various light panels in the vehicle. The only other extra tool you'll need is for the overhead map lights here, and you just need a Phillips head screwdriver. Let's go ahead and start with these map lights. In order to remove the overhead console to get access to these map lights, as you can see, we've already installed one on this side. You need to remove 2 Phillips head screws, one here and one here, before you do anything. Let's go ahead and do that now. There are 2 clips, one here and one here, that's holding this overhead console in place. We're going to be using the fork-shaped wedge tool and the small pointed wedge tool, and both of them, you're going to stick one in right here on the side, just to give you some separation, and you're going to use the pointed wedge tool to depress the metal clip holding it in place. So what you can see I did there, I made some room with the fork tool, and I came in with the pointed wedge to push down on this metal piece here so that we can release the overhead console. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and this whole unit should pop right out. Now that we have it out, you do want to disconnect the cables here so they can go work on this piece in a more comfortable setting. There's one wire connector here and your moonroof, sunroof connector right here. Okay, there we go. Now the map lights are hooked in with these T10 switches here. You need to twist to unlock, and they pull right out. Now these premium T10s are just a little bit larger, so you want to be careful when you put them in. You want to make sure you don't let go and lose it, because it will get trapped inside this housing here. It's very difficult to get out. So all you need to do, remove the old halogen bulb, attach the new T10, and you want to make sure that these metal leads are out to the sides and making contact here with the gold connections. These are non-polarity specific, so it doesn't matter which way they get plugged in, either way they're going to work. All you have to do now, slowly insert the bulb back in and twist to lock it back in place. Now that we have those map lights back, we're going to reinstall this overhead console back into the headliner. We're going to start by reconnecting our moonroof sunroof wiring. And then we're going to take our power wires here, this connector here. And at this point you can test the bulbs to make sure they both turn on. The easiest way is to insert the back end first and then push up from the front and make sure these clips lock into place. You should hear a good snapping sound from both sides. There you go. Make sure to reinsert your 2 screws to make sure it stays in place. For the vanity mirror light, we're going to be using the pointed wedge tool here. We're just going to insert in the small gap here on the right hand side, and this panel should come right out. You want to be careful with this, it's going to be hot. We're slowly just going to pry this one out from one side. You want to let that cool for a bit before taking it out. In our case, I'm just going to use a piece of towel to remove the old bulb. The new LED bulb will just go right directly in place. Make sure you line up the LEDs where you want it to go and put the panel back in. We'll be using the fork-shaped tool here for the courtesy door light. You're just going to wedge in at the top with one of the sides, slowly work your way down, and pry the housing out. Now this bulb is hard to get access to. You can either use a piece of cloth to remove the bulb, but if that doesn't work, a pair of pliers or some tape will help you remove the bulb from the housing. Once you have the bulb out, the new LED goes directly in its place. And we'll place the cover back on. Now the bottom is a wider spread for these connectors than the top. You want to make sure you get that lined up correctly before inserting the housing back into place. For the rear dome light, all we need is the pointed wedge tool, and we're going to make a small indentation here in between the lens cover and the housing. We'll pry up, and that should release the lens cover. Now the bulb, you'll also take the pointed wedge and use it to pry out the old bulb, and we'll insert the new premium LED. Make sure you line up the LEDs so they are pointed down. You just want to test to make sure that they turn on. And when you reinstall the lens cover, the side that has the pins farther apart goes closer to the switch, and then you just give it a good tap to get it back in place. There you go. Now the trunk light is actually one of the easiest lights to remove. All you need to do is use your hand to push on both sides here of the lens cover, and it comes out very easily. Now, since we have the trunk open, the bulb is on, it's going to be hot, you will want to use a pair of pliers or a piece of cloth to remove this bulb. We're just going to insert the new LED. And put the lens cover back on. For the license plate bulb, there's only a single halogen in there. Now to remove this entire housing, we're going to be using the fork-shaped wedge tool. There are contact points here and here that we need to push up against in order to get this bracket to pull away. Start off from one side here. You're going to apply a decent amount of force to push it out, and do likewise on the other side. Alright, now that we have it out, we need to remove this clear housing. There are two small clips on one side here and two clips on this side that need to come out in order for us to get this lens cover off. We're actually just going to pry from the inside here to release them slowly. Once these first two are out of their hole, we're going to use the pointed wedge tool to push down on these back ones here to get it the rest of the way out. There you go. Remove the old halogen bulb, and we'll replace it with our LED. Now this LED is a shorter version of our T10. It is not polarity specific, it is polarity specific, so we're going to have to make sure we test before we reassemble to make sure this light turns on. Let's go ahead and do that now. Now we know that the bulb works. We're going to put the lens cover back on. Just snap that into place. And put this back where it belongs and make sure the two contact points snap in. And let's see what it looks like. And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Now, like we said before, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there are people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.